All good?
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Okay. Welcome to CryptoNutz.
TTM, Thursday Meetup, man.
Thursday Meetup. Everything about cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin being the leader.
Are there other cryptocurrencies?
There's many. There's Ethereum, Shiba, what's the one that everybody, XRP. So there's basically on the exchanges listed right now, there's over 2.3 million coins, different types. So Bitcoin being the leader and what everybody's been basing their technologies after.
You're okay.
So one of the things I want to touch on is we always hear that Bitcoin is one of the leading money laundering tools for drug dealers and for criminals. And recently in the news, I don't know if anyone's heard this, but this is probably the biggest money laundering scheme in Canada right now. TD Bank, they were fined $3 billion for money laundering. This is $3 billion US dollars. So, and nobody goes to jail, no. Well, nobody ever goes to jail. It's US just wants fines. They don't care about putting somebody in jail. So anyway, that's our banking system. And I'll bet you any Bitcoin that the next few months there's going to be more taken down. Probably Bank of Montreal, and who knows who else is going to be in. This is just the first. No, it's all cash. It's all cash. Cash that went through the U.S. There was $600 million, something like that, went through the U.S. Banking systems through TD. And the judicial system out there nailed them for $3 billion. So their shares went down considerably, putting them at risk. And their $3 billion they've now taken out of reserves. So they're hit. Bitcoin is like that. It's peer-to-peer. There's no intermediary. There's no third party that handles your Bitcoin unless you have it on an exchange, which is like a bank. So if you have your Bitcoin on an exchange, they hold the keys, you don't hold the keys. If something goes wrong with the exchange, like FTX went out of business, you lose your Bitcoin. You want it on your own Trezor, in your own safe place. This isn't unusual. We hear about this a lot. Okay. And like I said earlier, this is not our money. This is government money. They print it. We use it. Okay. That's it. Yeah. If you have Bitcoin, that's yours. Mm-hmm. There is no government interference whatsoever. Okay. Okay, the other thing is Vitalik Buterin. He's the founder of Ethereum. Ethereum is another technology similar to Bitcoin, but it's a smart contract technology. They have what's called nodes, where it's no, they're staking, sorry. You're staking your tokens to earn and hold up the network. So right now it's at 32 Ethereum. Vitalik's talking right now to move that 32 to 1. Yeah. So everyone has an opportunity to stake. And
ETH is only about $3,500 right now, Canadian. So anybody would have the opportunity then to go ahead and stake and make anywhere from 6 to 8%.
So you could buy one Ethereum at $3,200 as opposed to 32 at 90, whatever, $100,000.
And the best thing about that is you can run a node on like any computer. You can even run it on a Raspberry Pi.
Right. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So staking, for those who don't know what staking is, you're receiving rewards of Ethereum for staking on their network. Now, anyone who doesn't have 32 Ethereum to do so, you can go into a staking pool and you could put 0.1 Ethereum on and start collecting and earning your percentages. Bitcoin just outperformed the S&P 500.
Nice. Nice. So, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, not surprised. So yeah, it's outperforming stock markets right now, which is nice. And since last meetup, well, this is a month ago, we're up about 12%. Bitcoin's up 12% since last meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
if you put your $250 in, you'd already be out of the game.
Yeah. So that's why we suggest to do cost averaging over time. Doesn't matter height of the price, low of the price, continually buy what you can every month because it goes up and down, consistently up. So no matter how low it goes, do some buying. No matter how high it goes, hang on. So as an asset, many have asked me, how do I make money with Bitcoin? And my answer is, how do you make money with a house? Everybody's got a home or they're renting. So you're putting money out every single month for a mortgage or rent, which gets you nothing. So the mortgage is going to cost you some money, but you have equity held. And in the future, when you sell your home, you have a large sum of capital to use. Same thing with Bitcoin. If you put it away every single month, 10 years down the road, you've got lots of equity. You could do whatever you want with it. And because Bitcoin is a digital asset, you've got tremendous amount of opportunity to run smart contracts to assist with your money. And all of your, when you're taking out a loan, you can actually loan without actually going to a bank. You use your Bitcoin on a decentralized finance, and there's no intermediary at all. You're in full control. Oh, another $57 million Bitcoin transfer was on one of the exchanges on Binance just recently, within the last day.
Now that would have taken up the whole screen. Did you explain the screen there?
Yeah.
How big that would be?
Yeah, 57 million transactions.
Yeah, it would be huge.
All the bubbles would move that way.
The bubbles get out of the road. But the cost is not that much more than a standard transaction. That's the amazing part.
Right. Yeah, so you could do a $57 million transaction for roughly about $2 now, $1, somewhere around there.
Might be a little more, but even if it's $100, I mean, that's so cheap compared to traditional finance.
For sure.
And it happens immediately.
Happens right away.
Well, in 10 minutes.
And the whales are buying up Bitcoin again. So that's my news. You got any news there, Kevin? Countries are getting off the U.S. currency. They're unpegging it, basically.
Like there's so many.
It's a good thing. So it won't take long before Bitcoin is the peg.
The G7.
Polkadot and Cardano. Did you hear about that?
No.
ADA and Cardano?
No.
They're going to do a cooperative effort together, and if that actually comes to fruition, that could pump both of those tokens. And since I'm a bag holder on both of those, I'm really happy about that. I believed in them, and I shouldn't have. Let's just put it that way. Again, one of those sorry tales of cashing Bitcoin for, things that are going to do better that never do.
Right.
Hopium.
Yeah, hopium. Yeah, based on hopium. Yeah, hopium technology.
There are some newcomers here, so I just want to share some information about Bitcoin and what we call shitcoins. So anything that's not a Bitcoin, we refer to as shitcoin. So everything else. And
we buy those shitcoins, by the way.
And we buy those shitcoins. And some of the reasons that people speculate with the alternate coins is because Bitcoin's too valuable, so they can't relate to how much value it is. Like today it's trading at around 92,000 Canadian?
90,750 right now.
Okay, so it's at $90,000. So people are like, well, I can't afford $90,000, so I'm not going to get in. But there's this coin that's 20 cents. I'll buy $1,000 worth of that coin at 20 cents because then it'll go to 40 and I'll make a couple of $1,000. Bitcoin will never go up to 180,000.
That one's down.
Right? Not true. So we have, actually, Kevin, can you pull up CoinGo Live and
sure.
It's so cultured.
There we go. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so it's 9.5% shy of its all-time high.
Okay.
Its all-time high was 73,000. It's at 67 today. Ethereum's at 87% away from its all-time high.
Let that sink in for a minute.
XRP 500% away from its all-time high. Doge 447. I mean, everything is way, way, way far away from reaching its original high. Now when Bitcoin goes up, if you take a look at the graphs of Bitcoin, maybe go to CoinMarketCap for a minute. So normally it shows the graphs, and when you look at the graphs, all the cryptos look alike on the graph. So if Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up. Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down. And what ends up happening over time, Bitcoin will go up and the others will start coming up, but they'll never come up as fast as Bitcoin does. So Bitcoin in your portfolio should be the most, and play with your other stuff. One of my posts I had was 7 years ago. Bitcoin was at $7,000.
Yeah.
Well, 7,000 Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, look at how many times we've seen that over the years.
Yeah.
You know?
And last year, when we were talking about Bitcoin, people were not convinced. It went up over 100%. Last year, we had a low of, what was it, 17,000 or 27,000?
Well, we started right about here.
28,000. So that's only a year ago. Yeah.
Yep, 38,000 a year ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
So carrying through, oh yeah, here's the this is the all-time graph.
Bitcoin, yeah.
So 2020, massive. No, I cost average. I just continually buy either.
You don't have this magic protractor that figures out.
Oh no, if it goes down enough, like I hold U.S. currency as well.
Yeah.
So if it goes down and I feel it's the right time to buy, I'll spend my U.S. currency. And over the course of time, Kevin and I have experienced, and some others in the group, of these people coming in, explaining exactly how to do the market trends and make all this money because they were making good money. They were making good money when it's like this, coming up. Everybody's making good money, right? As soon as the market crashed, we never heard from them again. They're gone. They disappeared. So you want to play that game. It's a tough one because you won't necessarily win. Cost averaging is your only way to continually gather Bitcoin for the future. It's like paying a mortgage. Every month you pay that mortgage, and that's it. It's as simple as that. And over time, that value of that, what you put in, is going to be able to come out. You can't necessarily do this untraceably because it's an open source ledger.
Sure.
The ledger's open. Well, yeah, you have to report to it, and it's all regarding as to what you feel. Like anything that you put through an exchange, like we have to buy through an exchange. We're still using Canadian money.
Yes.
Once you are running on the blockchain, there's so much more you could do than you can with traditional money.
Right.
There's decentralized finance. You could run anything from taking out loans to loaning out money to just virtually anything, trading for different technologies, right? Without moving off the chain. Getting on the chain is
very good.
Got to be done through a bank or through somebody you know, giving them cash, getting Bitcoin, or through mining. Yes, and mining being harder these days to do, but still doable.
I guess the only thing that I was going to add to your point about like untraceable Bitcoin, the hardest thing is when you are going through an intermediary such as an exchange in Canada, they do have your entire KYC records.
Yes.
So then they can track your outflows, and then it's very easy to track on-chain from transaction to transaction. Yep. So you want to be...
Yeah, I don't think there's any exchange right now that has non-KYC.
Right.
Pardon me?
Just DEXs, but you can't.
That's decentralized.
Fiat, though.
That's a decentralized exchange. So you have to have, you have to be on chain with that.
You already have to have crypto.
You still have to get from fiat currency on chain. Once you're on chain, you do whatever you want. You can go into decentralized system and do whatever it is you want. That's relatively untraceable.
So
sure.
it's called green lighted. Once you're once you get involved with any centralized exchange, you're green lighted, and that means that they have full access to the blockchain because it's open. It's open for everyone to look at.
For sure.
They can look at every single transaction.
So just to bring that into perspective, we had a beer fridge that we were buying beer, paying $3 a beer, and every week when we went to buy beer using Bitcoin, we had more value than we had the week before. And we had full fridge of beer. The beer fridge made more money than we were making. We had less Bitcoin, but way more value.
Yeah,
Kevin and I went to Vancouver one time. This was, what year was that? Do you remember?
Too
That was
long
like,
ago for me to remember, man.
so I basically went on my trip with no cash, just basically Bitcoin, and used my wallet. We had debit cards. When I got back, I had more money than I started with. So that's
How many
all.
times will that happen with your bank account?
It won't.
Right? They'll suck
It won't.
their fees every month, and
For sure.
you know, they'll take your money even when you do nothing wrong. They'll still take your money somehow. It's always your fault with the bank. I don't know why.
It is.
But that's when
It's-
you're dealing with fiat currency, government currency. That's the
Well,
thing.
yeah,
If that's blockchain and Bitcoin.
That's the thing.
I know exactly what Bitcoin I have at all times.
For sure, for sure. You could buy one Bitcoin today if you had the money and put it into a wallet and forget about it for 20 years. Put money in a bank, forget about it for 20 years. Go to the bank 20 years later and say, I want to get my money out. They'll say, what money? Pretty much. And when you go into your wallet with Bitcoin, you'll still have one Bitcoin. Nothing will have changed other than the value of what it's worth.
Exactly. The bank.
And 20 years from now, everything will be pegged to Bitcoin, not to US dollars. So,
Not inconceivable at all.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
at all. So you got about 15 minutes to do the picks.
Oh,
and then
okay.
we'll have our break, and then we'll do the little presentation on Bitcoin maximalists. I'm going to talk about those of us that love Bitcoin and nothing else, and how we can make that, how we can grow some sats and make them grow a little bit.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Do the picks first, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. So, what we do is you pick 3 of your favorite coins. No, it doesn't necessarily have any rhyme or reason whether you hold it, don't hold it, maybe you heard of it, you just want to pick it. So we're going to start with, well, start with you today.
BTC, Doge.
So BTC, and Doge.
Go Doge.
Doge.
Bitcoin, ETH, and
I used to do, what was it called, Uniswap?
Uni.
Uniswap?
Oh my God! I hope you still have some. Have you seen what's going on with Uni?
No,
Oh.
I got out of it years ago.
Oh, that's too bad, man.
Oh yeah,
You'd be a wealthy guy.
Oh really?
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't have a lot.
It doesn't matter. Even a couple $100 would be a lot of money.
Can I
Wow.
include NFTs in there?
No NFTs.
No NFTs? Can
No.
I include Bitcoins?
Crypto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, any coin.
So, take your Bitcoin.
Bitcoin?
No, take your Bitcoin. Harry Potter, Sonic, Obama. Or Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, 10 Eden.
Okay, you got to write down the call letters.
What's it trading?
The ticker is Bitcoin. BITCOIN. Yeah, Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Now that's sneaky.
Okay, that's easy.
I like Bitcoin and Doge.
And the real Bitcoin?
Yeah, and Doge.
And Doge.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So this is not Bitcoin. for those of you who are looking and saying Bitcoin,
All these
that's
newbies
not
going,
Bitcoin.
oh my God! Look how cheap
BTC
Bitcoin
is
for this
Bitcoin.
deal.
I just heard about that one.
Really? Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's the community is like a cult following. I love it.
That's awesome. You never know, man. We've seen a lot of weird stuff hit.
Okay, you're it.
Somebody's got to say it, so I'm going to go Litecoin, Doge.
Go light.
Litecoin, and Doge.
Yeah, stacking the deck on.
Okay.
Nice.
Litecoin was one of the original following the Bitcoin chain in the early days.
Yeah. So did Doge actually.
And Doge, yeah.
Doge was a joke though. Like, you know, the guy that created it did it as a joke.
Still is a joke, but it's worth It's $50 billion.
Yeah, but the joke was, watch this. He was a developer. He said, watch this. I'll create a token and I'll make it really good and I'll put it out there. And I'm not even going to have any of it. And this thing is just going to show how stupid and how easy it is to create a token. And let's make it based on a meme. Let's make it based on a funny dog, because everybody loves dogs. So that's what he did, and he put it out there. And then, well, what is it worth? $4 billion or whatever? What's Doge's market cap?
It's high. I don't know what it is.
It's got to be high, yeah.
Over
But yeah,
20 billion
no
or
shit,
something.
man.
Marcelo, you got a pick? You're going to do 3?
I'll go with
What is the current market cap of Dogecoin?
BTC.
All 3?
Yeah. And I was gonna.
Bitcoin you've heard of. That's why you're here.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well,
You want to do 3 on Bitcoin?
You've heard about it, so do 3.
All right. Next on the list.
2 Bitcoin, 1 Cardano.
2 Bitcoin. What's happening with Cardano these days?
All that news. Or Cardano, or what, Polygon? Keynote?
Cardano, ADA, right?
Yeah, ADA.
Did you get Linda too? You bypassed me?
So,
What the hell?
did I? Oh, I thought I did you already. No, oh, you started
Did you
talking.
get Linda too?
Oh, I missed Linda.
Oh, jeez.
Okay,
like
Linda.
we don't count. Like what the
I
hell?
know,
man?
right? I'm going to go for 3 BTC.
Holy moly.
Look at BTC running away with it.
Okay, Kevin.
Well, I got to go 3 for nuts.
Of course you got to go through for
I
that.
got to keep.
Is it on the
nuts in.
list?
No, I didn't even put it.
How
on
come
the
you
list,
didn't put it
man.
on the list?
I don't know. I was, you know.
So Nuts is an in-house token. So
Sorry?
Kevin created a token called Nuts for the CryptoNutz Meetup, so people could buy and trade amongst themselves and learn how to use crypto.
Oh, okay. Is that right? Oh,
So let's come over here. Bitcoin,
So like the first class was just Web3, then it was a deep dive into Bitcoin, Ethereum.
Solana.
Tomorrow or next week, security. Free Bitcoin. And then
all right.
Interesting.
I'm super happy.
Bitcoin maximalist today. Free XRP, okay.
brand new bottle.
We don't even have any snowballs for you. And there you have it. That's today's picks. Bitcoin leading the way.
Yeah, man.
Now, roughly about 2 years ago, Bitcoin was probably the lowest on the totem pole for us on picks, right?
It was.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
There was a whole mess of coins that were getting like picked, and now most of those don't even exist.
Yeah, and most of those that don't exist, I invested in.
Well, we all did. The worst case is when we invested Bitcoin to get those
That's what we invested because that's all we had.
Like we could have bought properties all over the globe,
You could probably have bought a big chunk of Canada.
pretty much.
Probably could have bought a big chunk of Canada for what you gave to people telling them about crypto.
I know. Insane.
Parliament buildings.
Insane.
Wayne used to always do that. He'd go ahead and he would go and he would say to people, he'd say, "Hey, have you heard about Bitcoin?" Right? And they'd go, "Well, no, of course, because nobody heard about Bitcoin." Nobody, I mean nobody. So he'd say, "Hey, well, let me give you $10. It wouldn't even be like $1. He'd give like $5 or $10,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he did this like everybody. Never created.
Waitresses, waiters, people, just random dudes
Well, yeah, because you bought like
How did you give them Bitcoin?
on a paper wallet.
yeah. He would give them a paper wallet and he would say, "Hey, here you go." Wayne.
You're the reason that 30% of the Bitcoin are lost in the universe.
I know.
A big chunk.
I know. I
And
know.
I said to him, I said, "Well, didn't you keep the private keys? Because when you do this, they give you the private and the public. And, of course,
No, I did not
you're
do
giving
that.
them the private keys. So that they
I was giving them the benefit of
Nobody
the
knows
doubt.
how to do this. Not one of those ones that he gave away has moved, because he can look at those on the blockchain and see that nobody actually used them, nobody got them, but he donated to the Satoshi gods.
I did. I did.
He increased the value of all of our Bitcoin by giving so much away.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So for the new players out here, Bitcoin will only ever have 21 million tokens. And it's divisible by 100 million, which is 1 Satoshi. So as our dollar is 100 cents, Bitcoin is 1 Satoshi, which is 100 million of those equals 1 Bitcoin. Over 30% proven already has been lost, like me giving away tips and shit,
Yep.
and people forgetting their wallets.
So if you live in the country and you're not heating your property with Bitcoin miners right now, you're crazy. Because they are profitable and you get the heat for free. What a concept. We live in Canada. Well, you've got a cost for your hydro.
Yes.
So you pay for that cost for your hydro. The miner can do that.
Yeah.
And then in addition to doing that, it still has a profit over and above that.
Okay.
And the heat is free.
So if you were,
So the miner itself is heating for less than the cost of what you would be paying for otherwise?
Well, not in terms of gas. Like if you have a gas heater, a high efficiency gas heater, okay, it's going to be cheaper to run per month to heat your place. However, it will not give you anything.
Right.
It will just cost you what it costs.
Yeah.
So say for instance, one of these kind of systems, which may cost you double what that high efficiency gas heater will cost. It costs you double to run it now, but you get back Bitcoin and some profit. So even though it costs you double, you're getting back the cost of the Bitcoin, half of that, plus a little bit extra. So your per month cost is just a tiny bit lower with gas.
Always get Bitcoin with
Yeah.
yeah. So if,
Okay, why did I think that you, okay.
so if,
Well, you can mine with
if
other,
you mine,
other-
just as an example,
other
if you were
miners.
getting $5 a day last year, if you were getting $5
for
a day
free?
last year,
Wow.
that value of $5 would now be about $14.
Right.
Last year, just in my little room back there, which has the miners back there, and that's double walled back there, by the way, so that's why when I'm running miners, you can't hear it, even if we have a meetup and stuff like that. But the thing is, those little miners running back there, and there's only like 5 Litecoin Doge miners. They mine Litecoin and Doge. They not only heated about half of the building, half of the cost for this building, which is a good sized building, but they, in addition to that, they made $800 worth of Doge, which I think is pretty fucking cool. I mean, I got the heat for free and I made $800 worth of Doge. Didn't make much in Litecoin. It was only about, I don't know, I only got about 1 Litecoin. So, but say $100 worth of Litecoin, but I got $800 in Doge, but $100 in Litecoin, so $900 profit, because I wouldn't have that crypto and I still needed the heat. So it lowered my heating costs and, you know, got a little bit of extra pool mining for sure.
You
because it's
can't
predictable,
solo
right?
mine. Like, I mean, you
You
can
can for
solo
fun.
mine,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of ridiculous.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking.
Solo mining is a different thing. That was that one meetup that you were at where we talked about the Axe Miner. Axe Miner is really cool. It's a lot of fun. It's like getting a.
It
It's
is.
like every 10 minutes you get an entry into a lottery.
Is that you just got to be lucky to get.
No, the ones I'm talking about are you're getting predictable returns every single month. Yeah. And
You
like
can
Wayne's heated his
calculate,
house, like you said.
you can calculate it on a day.
This building has been heated with Bitcoin miners since 2014. So
In the early days when we were doing this, we were getting close to 1 Bitcoin a month,
yeah,
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or maybe just 0.0001 because it's all on tape.
right. But back then, yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Something like that, 0.0001, I think. That's what it was. Yeah. Oh no, the treasure that wouldn't open. I've got proof of that one though.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so we're gonna have a little break, everyone. If you want to like grab some coffee, some tea, whatever,
I'm gonna
and
get some coffee.
popcorn.
Do you guys want
popcorn
anything,
left.
coffee or
Then
anything?
we'll have at her again. I'm gonna tell you about if you're a Bitcoin maximalist, what you want to do, basically.